all the pies. You fat bastard. How crazy is that Herbert Adams do this pie now? That's like caramelized onions and beef and what's his face? Mushrooms. Hits are supposed to be fire, son.
Sounds fucking excellent.
It's like all them flavors.
Aside from the food, I'd like to welcome you to the Smoke and Mirrors podcast, your destination for the latest in streaming, movie news, and reviews. We are your hosts, Rob, Dave, and Triz. This week, we dig into our usual mix of TV, limited series, and anime, and talk about Brandon Cronenberg's director's cut of his new release, Infinity Pool. Well, let's start the show. How we living there, big dogs?
Yeah, good dog.
This is real good, man. How you
Good.
going?
Yeah, good. Feeling much better than I did bloody Sunday. Far out. But day off tomorrow, and then I got my flu vax. So it's about to go down.
It's like the big thing is like the tentpole is the flu vax. Something
like-
to look forward to.
It's like midway through my day, and then I've got to go see Bianca, so I'll probably just like Michael Jackson walk to go see her.
Just fever it up.
So we don't have like a nominated trailer for this week, so we're going to go and jump straight to our thoughts and reviews, starting with Succession there, big dogs.
Yes,
Succession was real good this week.
riveting. Fucking riveting this week.
I died. I laughed. Like I really, really laughed. But yeah, so they're in. What is it? The sessions that Logan would run just before the election.
Yeah,
So
the political
it's like-
tailgate sessions.
Yeah, it's a tailgate party for the election that they hold 2 days out from the election. So there's a whole bunch of people of influence there and lots of government players and all that sort of stuff. And they go into that tailgate meeting with the intention of destroying the deal, of blowing up the deal. And then Shiv decides that, she has to invite Matson. Matson shows up and it's just craziness.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
hell, that was wild.
Very tense. Very, very tense in that room.
It really was. And they were all they all had their angles and they all had their shit to deal with.
Except for Greg.
Except for Greg, the Slim Reaper. Oh, shit.
Far out, he's done. There is a scene. I died. There is a scene where what's his face? Matson is sitting on the couch and he's talking to Tom, and you just see Greg in the background trying to weasel his way in.
No way.
You only see half of his face come into the screen.
You know what's funny with the show? With the show, like they they use the focuses.
Yeah.
He's never getting one of those. Oh man. Overlaid with that was like Tom and Shiv's bullshit as well. The whole night. Tom was just getting cucked.
Yeah.
Like just in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And that I just didn't like it.
Well, it's funny because he's built himself up to be this almost sort of cuck, but then like when it does start happening to him, you don't like it.
Yeah.
He wants
Kind
to
of thought the dynamics had changed with him and Shiv a little bit
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That was just a reminder that they will never be on the same playing field ever.
Not ever. But I think he's just starting to realize that now.
Yeah, but also I like that he took a stand.
Yeah.
Was like, well, you're not gonna fuck with me all the time, and I'm gonna I'm willing to give it all up.
Yeah, because I can fuck back.
The way that I felt about Kendall at the end of the last episode in the sea is kind of how I felt about Tom at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Because he was just kind of like, he was lost out there. He was pondering some shit. I don't know what was going to happen with him.
Mm.
I thought right there and then he was going to just jump off the balcony.
That's what I thought.
I was just like, I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Roman's past and his relationship with Jerry really came back to bite him in the ass there.
Mm.
Man, that old fucked around, and now he's trying to get serious. Now he wants to have clout,
Yeah.
and she's got him by the balls.
That's it. He's dumb.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. He's dumb. He's not serious enough to run the business.
Yeah, right there, you know. In this episode, you found out who the clear runner is for CEO.
Yeah.
And
It's not Shiv and Roman.
No, it's not at all. I mean,
That the plan at the end of that episode is a purely Logan Roy move.
yeah,
Like that is a straight up, like if he hadn't thought of it, or more than likely been thinking, he would have been thinking about it already. It's amazing.
This is the clearest that I've seen Kendall in any episode. I would say, you know how we were saying, is this the best episode of Succession we've ever watched? I think this is the best episode of this season that we've seen.
Yeah.
I liked the form and everything. I like that Shiv, everything just blew up in her face. She's so confident in everything, and then she's fucking like she's grabbing at straws by the end of this episode.
Well, she went about it the wrong way. She's got a great idea, but she went about it the wrong way. If she had sort of stuck in with the boys and just held it down, they'd be in a much better space.
That's right.
But now with her fucking up and with Roman fucking up, you don't believe in the in the whatever they're calling it,
triumvirate.
Yeah. You don't believe in it. It looks like Kendall is the head right now.
Yeah. Well, you know the thing with the triumvirate. You know why that's so weird that they called it that?
Because one would have to be on top.
It was started back in ancient Rome with Caesar, and it led to Caesar getting killed. So they're all trying to take each other out, and it looks like they took themselves out by who they kind of bet on. And the reason why, if people are listening, the reason why Shiv is not gonna get that CEO position if things don't work out is because Matsson's numbers are funky.
Yeah.
He created numbers. He doubled his install base in India.
So it's not even close. It'd be close if there was 2 Indias, but there's not obviously 2 Indias. I don't know if that's a play as well. If that's a test from because Matsson is smart. I don't know if Becker is a test as well. Like it's weird that the games that he's playing is just
Now, I was thinking that she was like sort of like the plant, and this whole thing has been sort of seeded since they went to that retreat, and now she's there, and what's going to kind of happen? Is she just telling them these things, like telling them that Matsson isn't a real developer, that they just gave him like this toolbox and he just played with it, and like he's the front man kind of thing?
Yeah, he's the face of the company, whereas everyone else is doing the work.
Yeah.
But if that is true, right, and he is just the face, there is no stopping them going and stealing everyone from that company and just saying, you work for us now.
Yeah. Well, if the reverse Viking goes through.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful move.
You know, Kendall tried this shit before with Frank, and it blew up in his face.
Yeah, because Frank fucked him. And Kendall wasn't ready.
Yeah, and Kendall fucked himself with the whole nervous breakdown and everything.
Yeah,
Kendall. But these appearances that Kendall's been having is just he's been more confident ever since the Living Plus. The confidence has just gone through the roof.
Ripping Cross is crazy to me.
But we've still yet to see what's gonna happen from that phone call that he had with Matson. Remember early on in the season, he took a phone call. He was in the stairwell, and he was like, "You guys go on ahead." But before karaoke,
Yeah.
I think it was like episode 3 or something like that. And then Matson told him, "You need to do this."
Yeah.
What did that mean? Like, is there an even bigger play to then screw the siblings out of?
And get Kendall in as CEO of.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of shit up in the air. This is episode 7. We got 4 more to get through. And shit is getting close. Shit is getting tight.
Yeah.
Tense as all fuck. But yeah, I was enjoying it, man. It's like big things happening.
It was
Yeah. Ted Lasso as well. Penultimate episode.
It's not the best second last episode I've seen.
It was very Ted-less.
Yeah.
It was.
But what we saw, so basically, what's his face gets outed as being gay.
Yeah, Colin.
But only between him and Isaac, McAdoo.
Yeah, I like McAdoo.
So do I. So just like we said, it was the fact that Isaac lied to McAdoo is why he was off with him the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he didn't care. Basically, they're playing really, really bad because him and Isaac aren't on the same page. And then they go into the first half ends, the second quarter. First half ends.
Yeah, first.
And then one of the fans says the F word.
Ooh.
Yeah. And McAdoo goes crazy and like damn near like shakes the O up. He manhandles him a little bit. Didn't lay hands on him, which is what normal, the soccer guys would have done, to be honest. And then everyone finds out. Colin outs himself to the team, which is great. The team obviously reacts like you expect them to. Like it's 2023.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Well, it's 2023. Like that's nothing sort of crazy anymore. You know what I mean?
No. I like the whole episode was sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Saccharine. It's like the Ted Lasso formula. What I really, really liked was the end when McAdoo comes over to sort of piece it up with Colin. And
you like me, bruv.
Yeah. I like that. But then when they're actually playing FIFA and he's asking him all these questions out of general interest, and it's all the questions that you'd probably want to ask a gay person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the locker rooms. Think about maths.
How do you shower?
I love what's I love you. I love you, bruv. You can't say, can you? Yeah. But I do live.
Keely and Jack's relationship is completely that's done now.
Yeah,
she's in Spain for a couple of months. Sorry, you were going to say something there, Bado?
No, I was saying I love Ted's little speech that he gave in the locker room. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
the fact that we don't care but we do care was good. Like I love that.
Yeah,
sort of, because just saying I don't really care doesn't really sound.
That's not supportive.
It's not supportive at all. Yeah.
I found myself in that scene. I found myself going, I agree with what Ted's saying.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Same.
I'm a hetero guy.
Hmm.
I have no problems with any of the LGBTQ, like the alphabet. No problem with it at all. But
that's your life that you need to live. And
that's it. Yeah.
It's up to you.
Like that's none of my fucking business. I love what Roy said.
Yeah. It doesn't impact you in any way. That's what I don't get,
Yeah.
is why people are so up in arms. Like, it doesn't impact you in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Roy's arc, which I
Mm.
thought was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's him now stepping into that coach role,
Mm.
and you see the influence from Ted on him,
Yeah.
and him in that press conference telling that story. That was really, really kind of
Wow.
Lasso.
Mm.
I love that story as well. Him
Yeah.
kind of going into, and he throttled me, properly throttled me. And
So after the black eye and broken ribs and
when
what
I
else did
could
he
breathe
have?
properly in summer.
Breathe properly.
But there was that sense of camaraderie in the episode that just worked. It worked within the Ted Lasso world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They weren't going to add any sort of complications or go down any sort of dark path. But it made sense to me.
Yeah. I love when he walked through the door instead of Ted.
Yeah.
He was, yeah, right. You got me.
Fuck, he had a line there that I fucking died at. You, Goblin King.
Goblin King.
Nutrient crit. Yeah.
Whistle. Fucking whistle. That was a great job.
Beard.
Oh my
Oh, man.
This is the last episode next week
Yeah.
as well. Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good 90 minutes. Something a bit sort of meaty pause to bite on. Because they've got to finish off that season.
Yeah.
Nate's got to come around.
Which it seems like he is. I think his relationship with this girl is going to make him sort of turn around and come around. And I
did
see
like
him and Roy running that team at the being head and whatever coach at the end. Yeah.
I did like that interaction that he had with Rupert, because Rupert was he's such a dog, man. And then when
a dick,
so slimy when he comes in, the love of a woman, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
And then when he comes in and he introduces himself to Jade and everything, and it's like then a boys' night, and then Nate rocks up, and then he's like, you know what? I can't come. I just wanted to tell you in person because Rupert's fucking got those chicks there.
Yeah.
Can't be having the birds and this guy's got a new relationship or whatnot.
I like that Nate wasn't pussy enough to just like go along with it.
Yeah.
Go along to be along. Like what is that called? Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Like I'm glad that he actually stood up and just said, "Nah, I'm not doing that." Like I don't like that. I'm not doing that.
That seemed to be like the theme of this episode, was like getting to the point where you can be complacent.
Yeah.
But then following through and actually sort of setting things straight and driving your own sort of story and your own legend. Which is cool, because even Roy does it by the end. Because, he's supposed to be in that press conference. Roy's got some balls, man, walking into Rebecca's office, and they're like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. Wild. I can't imagine talking to a boss like that, eh?
I know, way. I guess it's a different business.
Different over in England.
It's like, I think emotions run really, really high with football over there. And everyone's just at 11 with how much they're... Yeah, that's it. What was the other thing I was going to say?
I love when McAdoo had his breakdown and then went into the room and Roy came in and he was like, "Roy, just fuck off. I don't want you to yell at me." And he was like, "I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to talk to you."
And then Will gives his little, we're all just a sneeze away from an avalanche. And then, You know, I don't push it.
Fuck off, Will.
I also like the support at the end that Roy gave McAdoo. Because
Yeah.
it would have been really, really easy for him to apologize for McAdoo
Yeah.
and and sort of like play it down like,
Mm.
oh, he was just being insubordinate and whatnot. But for him to actually kind of say, and for that, I give him love. It was like that's kind of the dream response. You know what I mean? If you were a player that went up in the stands and accosted someone,
Yeah.
or just ricked him around.
But now the question is McAdoo going to be out for the rest of the season? Or is it like a few games that he misses? Because if he like misses out on that like West Ham game,
Can't be missing out in that final.
can't miss out on that one.
So I think the elephant in the room with season 3 of Ted Lasso, right, is everyone's been shitting on it.
Oh, really?
They're saying that for a show that was supposed to be about Ted's experience kind of in this like fish out of water like sort of show set at work,
Yeah.
it's now ballooned into this bloated sort of 5 different jobs where you've got like the football manager at a different firm, you got the PR firm that's going on, you got Rebecca's shit that she's going through and sort of Sam's stuff and whatnot. And it's like a show about 6 different people's jobs and whatnot. It's like people are complaining about that, but this is like double the season that we've gotten from 2 and 1. But
This
I think
is
it's also a testament to the show that you can watch someone else within that and still find it enjoyable because you've spent time with them.
but this is the show. Can you imagine if they said, okay, here's Hank. Hank is Walt's brother-in-law for season 1, and then for the rest of the season until season 5, you don't get to see him again.
That's right.
I mean, what are we doing? You've sort of watched these characters grow, and then you just want to see them disappear just because Ted's the star.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense, man.
Yeah. No, I don't get it either. I was really surprised when I seen some of the reactions of people and it just like you're getting something that isn't just a sitcom. Like it's not Scrubs, it's not Spin City. You know what I mean? It's they're trying to do something a bit more kind of higher art.
Mm,
Not even higher art, but just give you a bit more depth
yeah,
within that. And I'm pretty sure it's going to pay off by the end.
100%. We know it is. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
another banger episode.
I wish it was longer though. It was only 47 minutes this episode, mate.
Hopefully they take that extra 13 minutes, tack it onto the rest the end. A big new release as well, Silo on Apple. I kind of watched that first episode and I was a little bit like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
But
I
then
watched
this
the first episode and I was like, and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
And she's the face of the show. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what I was
Later.
thinking. Because she wasn't in that first episode at all, but then it kind of made sense why they gave you 2 up
Yeah.
front. But then that second episode, I think, that's really the foundation for what's going to carry on for the rest of the season. Or like it became a mystery in the second episode. So for those who don't know, the synopsis or kind of the plot for Silo is everyone in what seems like the world or that part of the world is living in a big old 120 floor silo.
They have been for the past 140 years as well, supposedly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Completely contained from the outside world. So no one stepped foot outside in like 120 years or something like that. You're supposed to believe there's a contagion or a bomb or like a Chernobyl out there. Right?
Yeah.
And where we've got David Oyelowo and Rebecca Ferguson and Rashida Jones, all kind of like sort of living their life and trying to you kind of get introduced to this way of life, which is
Yeah.
cool because if it was post-apocalyptic, sometimes they take you the zombie route or kind of the wasteland route.
Very
But this,
bleak and lots like
yeah,
there's maybe 8 people in the whole show. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
But this looked like this was like industry.
yeah.
This is like the world's still going on. You're still getting new shit, whatnot, but it's just more controlled.
It's almost like
So
they had time to plan for the apocalypse.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the first episode is showing you the loop,
yeah,
and then the second episode is breaking the loop,
yeah.
and then yeah, I mean there's a lot of mystery there. The performances are on point. Some
Mm.
shots looked a little bit cheap, but I'm invested.
Mm.
I'm gonna see what that third episode does, and then I'm gonna kind of go from there. But I'm liking what I'm
Yeah.
seeing so far.
I like it.
Sounds like
I like
Fallout.
the story so far. I like the mystery. Um, I love the fact that there's relics in the world that they're still sort of finding and getting information from and trying
Yeah.
to piece that information together. And like, I don't know who to trust and whatnot in the show. Like, is the mayor part of this? Like, does she know? Like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. So much shit to dig through. Sorry there, Bado. What were you saying? Sounds like what?
Sorry. It sounds like Fallout.
It is.
Yeah, it kind of is Fallout, but they were all contained together, not in vaults.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to that next episode.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got the chance to watch Bupkis as well.
Mm.
Bupkis was a nice little 8-episode light little something from Pete Davidson. It was semi autobiographical. Did you say semi?
Yeah, semi. It's not obviously they say at the start of the show.
Yeah.
Bupkis.
And got Joe Pesci in there, Edie Falco, and obviously Pete Davidson. Lots of cameos in there. Charlie Day and Kenan Thompson. Brad Garrett
is a legend.
Hell.
Like,
he's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious.
Hilarious. The first time I'm hearing him swear.
Yeah, same.
You had Raymond in there as well.
Yeah, hearing him swear.
Yeah.
So this started off and it was kind of, I felt like it was like this really serialized thing. Like it had like notes of seriousness and whatnot, but it felt like every episode was its own contained adventure.
Yeah.
Like that, the Fast and Furious one, and like, you know, a little bit of what Pete's life is like living in a trailer and sort of jet setting out to shoot movies and whatnot. And nothing really kind of hit character arc until the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
When he starts dealing with his own shit. So I'm not too sure if the intention with this one was kind of to show you the anarchy of kind of getting into the life and what it's like to have anxiety at that level and to deal with the trauma of the past, and sort of have that friend circle and sort of have this big dynamic chaotic life. But the last 3 episodes kind of hit for me.
Yeah.
That's when it really kind of set in. The best episode
and the second one.
The second episode was my favorite episode of the whole season. Only because Bobby Cannavale, and when he goes up to the DJ booth and he's like, "My nephew asked you to play
Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe an hour ago." He's the fucking DJ. And then he's dancing and he's doing the eyes. Oh, fucking hell. There was a lot of laughs in the show, and I really, really dug it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Did he play these fucking Cotton Eye Joe song? Where's that fucking DJ?
Do as I say, not as I do. Fucking hell, the shit that he was exposed to as a kid,
Wow.
and we all kind of get it. Like we've been in cars where the driver has been fucking blackout drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've had access to shit that we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
We've
We get-
watched movies like you
That-
see that story
that resonated
in the
with me
show.
unbelievably. Like seeing him watching Nighthawks
Yeah.
and Stallone like shooting people, and the mother coming in like that's great. That's just great. And the dad just looking around and being like, it's Stallone.
Yeah.
Like that was the answer. All right, that makes it fine. It's Stallone. The kid's 6. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I'm excited for a season 2, man.
Same.
I think they can.
Go on.
You go.
No, I was gonna say I didn't expect them to drop the whole season like bang flat out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
take your 8 episodes. Like it was
Yeah, I'm
weird.
glad they did though. To me,
Same.
it played better like that. It played
Yeah.
better watching it over 2 days.
Mm.
Because it
Pesci-
felt like a getaway episode, like a getaway show.
It's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. A little like,
Little
bang them
amuse-
out, get the fuck to bed.
One, two, the one biter. What's his face was great. Pesci was great.
Yeah.
Pesci as a
Fuck.
grandfather is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him with family that he can't kill. Like, because you're not in any danger, you know what I mean? Like with Pesci, there's a little bit of danger there, whether it's Casino or Goodfellas or whatnot.
Yeah.
You haven't been this safe since Raging Bull with Pesci.
It's true, actually.
But yeah, so good to see him do his thing. The makeup was a little bit funky though for me in some of the episodes and some of the younger sort of bits.
Mm.
But he wasn't the emotional crux of the show.
No.
Did you find even with the condition, even with him dying and whatnot?
Yeah.
He was really the compass for Pete.
Yeah.
Is what I found. Like whenever he says something, Pete's like, "Yeah, I think I gotta do that, or we gotta do this." And it goes like, even the hooker.
And then it killed me seeing the hooker at the what's his face at the wake for Borgnine. I love that name. That name for a dog is amazing.
Yeah, Borgie.
Yeah, the fact that the dog's name was Borgnine was beautiful.
So good, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I dug the show. I definitely dug the show, and I do want to see it back. I think they can do really, really strong things at the end. I love that they recognize that no one knows who the fuck Paul Hauser is. And even you over there, the other white guy.
You know what killed me was the what's his face? It's Wakanda forever.
Oh,
Everybody
fuck.
knows that you don't say Wakanda with the hard R.
Oh, fuck, I died.
Oh,
It's
man.
such a good time. It really, really was. Yeah. Seems like we have the anime correspondent, Triz.
Yes.
Probably
getting from Japan.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
You call it Hell's Paradise was pretty cool this week. So we've been going on this massive journey with just learning about progression from separate characters away from the main character. And it's all starting to come to a head now, which is really cool. With all the information that you get from each episode, you start to realize that the lady who's with Gabimaro, who's also an executioner, you have this smirk on your face, and it's fucking killing
sorry.
me.
Fucking hell. Dude, sorry. When I said Arigato, Mr. Roboto, this is Bit Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where Drax says like a monkey, and then he goes, "Bop, bop, bop." It does an impression. That's just not a fucking monkey. Oh shit! I'm sorry, there, dog.
No,
Tell me
you're
about
good.
Gubby. Tell me about Gubby Morrow.
No, please, we need the eye. It's important.
Oh shit!
But yeah, so everything. So you realize with all the other executioners that you learn about, they're all numbered, and it's not because of their skill or anything like a rank. They're numbered because of how likely they are to be the head of the executioner's clan if the head actually dies. And you find out the girl executioner that's with Gabimaru, like she's completely just foregone being a housewife and all that stuff, like normal culture was during the samurai period, and she chose to be an executioner. And with all the information you get from those guys, they're all very like shitty with her, and they treat her like shit because she's a woman.
Yeah.
But then you find out that because the ranks aren't based on because the numbers aren't based on skill, she's actually close to being number one. And then with one of the executioners going off at her, telling her you should escape the island, you're not good enough to be here, you're just gonna like bog all of us down. She finally snaps, and she realizes that with her sort of pushing away from, I guess, what she was meant to do, and like becoming a skilled executioner, she can actually hone sort of that emotion as well. And that's when this massive fucking dude, something like Tessai from Ninja Scroll, just rolls through. And Gabimaru's fighting this guy, and she gets in on the action as well. And every time they try and slash this guy, his skin is so strong that they just can't cut through it.
Right.
And then with her knowledge of like, so with her clan, she had to learn the human anatomy, where's the best place to cut so you can lop off the head in one slice, things like that. She's like, all right, cool. So we got to take him down from the legs, and they're trying to cut this dude through like the back of his knee down to just like take out his legs and then cut the head off and shit like that.
Jesus. I was going to say, this was uncircumcised.
So they're actually unsuccessful with the fight, and they both get fucked up. Because no matter what they do, this guy is like, it's funny to say it, but he's tensing his muscles on like the impact of the strike, so they just can't cut through the bone and all that shit.
Big parries on it.
Yeah. And they're just like, how the fuck do we get through to this dude? She ends up like cutting off one of his pinkies, things like that. That manages to go through, but just the major, like, limbs aren't coming off. And that's where the episode sort of ends halfway through this fight of them not being able to beat this guy. There was some cool bits in here with Gabimaru, so he starts pulling out a lot of his like ninpo, his ninja arts and things like that, and he starts mixing them together as well. So at the end of this episode, they get this idea of, okay, well, if we can't like chop his head off, maybe we can suffocate him. And he starts like summoning up rocks and shit and setting them on fire so he can set up a ring of fire around this guy. And then just keep him in the circle until the smoke inhalation just kills him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Don the Dragon Wilson up in here.
I think that guy's coming down.
He is. I've seen ads for it too.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Don's coming here.
Yeah.
What for?
Just like to talk. Just like a demo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. My good friend put out the invite.
But yeah, so that's how the episode ends. Still pretty cool though, because we finally get to see like the side of Gabimaru where it isn't just sword fighting, and he's actually got all that ninja arts as well.
I was gonna ask, like, there seems to be a lot of fighting in this show. How does those find like the character progression in anime during the fights? Know what I mean? Because there's a lot of inner monologue and stories and stuff like that they tell during a fight.
Yeah.
Does those ever? Because you also watch straight cartoons and shit, but also movies and TV shows. Do you ever get lost in the fights and then?
Weirdly, no. So I was like, it's a good question because I think this is where there's like a drastic contrast between live action, like action, as well as anime. Where anime, I think because the episodes are so short, you can have that in between moment of like the flashback or someone else doing something. And there's not a lot of time and you can still come back to it, which is fine.
Yeah, because when they do that in live action, you laugh them out the room. You can
Yeah.
only do that in comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But this, it just works. Like a lot of the inner monologue sort of relates to the fight as well. And I think that's their cheat code too, with them sort of like breaking the barrier, like the mental barriers of I can do this, is having that like inner monologue, and then it has like the mad action bit where he finally like does the move. Just do the move, man.
I was the only one that came to mind was in Wicked City when he like meets that chick again, and then she starts blowing him, and then he's like, "This doesn't seem like the girl that I picked up." Doesn't stop or anything, but
You know how many times they got used for their memes? There was one where it was just when you and your girl go on a break and then you come back together. But no, so yeah, like I mentioned, the episode ends with them still not killing this guy, but we'll get some more of the fight next episode as well, which is cool. Demon Slayer was fucking awesome. So it's still that massive ongoing fight. Shit, where do I even begin with this? So they're still struggling to fight this upper demon. And the second upper demon does come into play now. And he's shown up and fucking he's been summoning these demons, these other lesser demons, to go fight for him. And the Husherer starts fucking these dudes up and then finds him. And what he can do is he can teleport between these vases that you can't see. And you're trying to figure out where the fuck is this guy, and they're fighting the whole time, and he still hasn't figured out what his weak point is, because he's cut this dude's head off and nothing's happened, because normally decapitation kills all these demons. And so now the Mist Husher is stuck and his sword's all the way fucked up and he doesn't know where to go from here. And then it skips back to Tanjiro and he's fighting those other upper demons where there's 4 of them. And then Nezuko, his sister, like puts all her blood on his sword and it forges like a brand new fucking sword for this guy.
I'm fucking mad.
It was fucking insane, man. You see him hit this. He hits the name. He does this move from sun breathing.
Where you hit that Dougie like nobody else did.
He does this fucking move where like his sword lights on fire and he flies into that first guy, cuts his head off, and then he like veers around. He hits the other 3 guys in that same pattern. And then they show you the top down view and it's a dragon that's moving like that. It was fucking cool, man. Fuck, it was fire.
Sick.
I like this.
Yeah. So like the imagery is unbelievable. So the thing that's got me excited though is next Monday when the next episode drops. Next episode apparently has a massive fight that's also illustrated by the guy who did the fight at the end of the Mugen Train arc. And that's one of like my top 3 fights in Demon Slayer as well. So I'm fucking pumped, man.
Fucking sick.
It's gonna be fucking excellent. But this episode was just all fight. Yeah, it was fucking excellent.
Sounds like it's been all fight for a little while there.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer's just not letting up off the throat pause.
Fucking hell. Demon Slayer season 3, hella neck. But
what that neck do?
But yeah, so it was all fight. So Tanjiro has managed to fuck up that upper demon, and now he's going to make his way to go find the Mist Husher so he can fight that other upper demon. But the second Husher has shown up now as well. And her sword is fucking weird. It's not a normal samurai sword. It coils around like fucking Ivy in Soul Calibur, how she has the chain whip sword.
Oh, wow.
But it's still all one piece like that.
I like this.
But you see
so that doesn't actually separate.
No, it just coils up. It's like a snake.
Oh shit.
You see her fight this dude, and she uses one of her techniques, and you see her just swing a sword once, and this dude just falls into like fucking cubes. It's fucking rough, man.
Sort of like Battle Angel, you know, when Gruishka shoots out his fingers like that,
Yeah.
and then she's like jumping through, and then you see it like, and she just separates.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like Ray in Fist of the North Star, and it's like that dude at the start of Cube when the fucking grate flies through him.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Fucking cool, man. But that's where this episode ends. So we've got both Harsherers as well as the second upper demon to fight. And it looks like shit's just going to escalate from here now as well. So this is episode 6. So we got 5 more of these potentially. Fucking cool, man. Oshinoko. There was no fucking episode. I think because they gave us a double episode last week, they just
Right.
said, I'm going to take a week off.
I'm gonna need a breather for this week. Hopefully that means next week is just gonna be fire.
Fuck, I hope
You know what
so.
I mean? Because the development needed just that extra week.
Fucking better be. Dogs are fucking cutting into my schedule.
They've gone home in South Park.
Badly. Demos is the hardest working O's on the block.
Big. Never missed a week ever.
It's been like 20 years now or something as well.
Like 25.
Fuck.
25 seasons or something like that.
Machines.
That's crazy. Speaking of Cube, you guys gonna check out that Japanese Cube?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Same.
Where are they releasing it on?
Screenbox?
The fuck is that?
Only in the US.
Maybe
Of
it'll
course.
come out on Shudder.
Yeah, we'll see.
But that's it for my anime corner.
Very nice. All right. So massive thanks to Nixco, Neon, Madman Films for giving us the opportunity to check out Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool, and not just the Infinity Pool that came out at the start of the year. It's actually the director's cut, which has about a minute of extra footage and whatnot. This one starring Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth, and like a lot of other really, really talented people. The movie itself is about this author, James Foster, who takes a trip with his wife, M. Foster, to this island that is completely made up. And on this island, if you break a law bad enough that it requires a punishment, the punishment is that the person or the eldest son gets to kill you. Now, to get through all that red tape of killing a tourist to this island, they create a clone of you for a certain amount of money. Now, what follows is like just a de-evolution almost of what happens if you had the chance to kind of live and really kind of live at your most base self possible. The debauchery, the violence, all of it. The movie itself, I found, was a bit hard to watch. It's extremely graphic. The tone is really, it's not bleak and it's not intense, but it felt like it was just in your face the whole time. Like you couldn't escape it. I felt like there was no levity or anything. It was just still. And I kind of felt that. So my enjoyment levels kind of varied throughout the movie. I wouldn't ever watch it again. So rewatchability for me is just out the window completely.
Yeah. I think a lot of the for me with this movie, I would never watch it again as well. Seeing a lot of the imagery in this movie, even the things that are, I guess, generally perceived as beautiful, were really shown in this, like, you know, brutal and grotesque light, which just fucking threw me off as well.
Yeah.
But some of like the shots and stuff were really good. in this movie, and they were really nice to look at. But then it's almost going through this myriad of like a fever dream when you're trying to sit through it. It's just a journey that it's like a bad trip.
Yeah. Well, nice little pun there, dog.
Write that down. Now for me, this went off the rails as soon as I saw dude getting a handy and then like just busting.
Yeah. Like full frontal into the camera.
Full frontal. Like I was like, what am I watching here? Like, what's going on here? It just like there was a big like sort of right turn and like everything went left. Like it was
your cock was in my head.
Like, what's going on here? Like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
I'm watching on the bigs downstairs. Like, there's no hiding this.
It's wild that they actually put that Foley effects into the skeet shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big ASMRs into that.
Ew.
But yeah, it was a really great sort of the commentary that he sort of sets up between like the super rich, like the uber rich, like there is no way that you know someone who is lesser in class would be able to do what these guys is doing, like being able to just do whatever they want and then fuck it, I'll get caught and just pay for a clone
and laugh it off
like it's nothing. Yeah, like it's nothing. Yeah. So that was good. But yeah, I for one am never watching this movie again. Like not ever.
I find that's a trend with Brandon Cronenberg's movies, which to some extent you kind of get that with David Cronenberg's movies. So there's like the obvious influence there from his dad. Yeah. His dad had a little bit more just in terms of creating levity, like we see in The Fly, we see in even in Dead Ringers. We get something that it's a bit more entertaining in that on that side, and a history of violence as well.
Oh yeah,
but this, like you said, like the themes of like the uber rich and the class system and whatnot, but also the slum tourism side of it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of weird that they would get together, they would find their own, and they'd kind of just parade like fucking monkeys, like they even have a mask. Even the mask itself that they wear throughout the movie is the distorted version of themselves. Like when they're out in the real world, that's the distorted version of themselves, and this is them giving into whatever tendency, impulsive nature that they had.
Yeah.
This is that's, I mean, the base human nature is to do that. That's what we would do. We didn't have laws and, you know, rules and essentially religion sort of like, you know, having a hold over most people and keeping us in check. That's what we do.
I'd say, fuck that farmer. I'm gonna take that horse.
And that's what people would do. We wouldn't care about what's his face. We wouldn't care about feelings and all that other stuff. It'd just be like, well, I want that. I'm gonna go take that. And that's what we do. You're telling me not to do that? Well, I'm gonna go do that. It's funny how we're sort of governed like that. Like we know what would happen if we did just go werewolf and just let everything we want to do. If we could do everything we wanted to do, we wouldn't have a society.
That's true. Like if there was no rules at all and we didn't know what we know now,
we'd go crazy.
Yeah. Especially if it's out of protection. And it's almost like these guys, like, because Mia Goth is like playing Gabby. She's got her husband there. They've got their friends there that seem to always just like, you know, reunite every year on their holiday at this specific place.
Yeah.
Just to do this sort of shit.
You know what's crazy? is it reminded me of Aussie tourists in Bali.
Oh, you think Chappelle Corby getting the clone and
What do you
getting
mean?
her to, huh?
Of course she's getting a clone.
Or the Bali Nine?
Are they getting the clones too? The
Yeah.
Bali Nine. I hate that we like sort of justified the fact that we broke rules in another country and expect them to respect our rules.
Be lenient.
In this country, we would do this. Yeah, well, fuck you. In this country, this is what we do.
How
So
was the
stop
glow
all
up?
that shit.
Yeah. How's the glow up when Chappelle Corby came back on Australian
I know.
soil, though?
That bitch was on Dancing with the fucking Stars, mate.
Yeah.
I would have
The
had her dancing in the
opportunities.
boogie board in the boogie board bag as well.
Far out. The Boogie Boy.
Crazy.
You're a wild.
Yeah. We recently just saw it with what's her face? That Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
She literally broke the rules of Russia. They did what they did in their country to anybody else.
Yeah.
Just so happens that you're an American. You break the
Yeah.
laws. The laws is different everywhere
Yeah.
on the planet. You need to know these laws before you fucking go overseas. That's why they ask you to like review the laws and all that shit.
Yeah. Which is like why I will not be taking my vape anywhere else.
Mm.
LA was the last time.
Yeah.
Gonna have to be disposables over there or go back in the old cigaleckies.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets down.
Okay.
Oh, bro, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a lot of things that I did enjoy. There was some imagery there, like the fever dream stuff that you were saying, Triz. They had like a penis coming out of a vagina. They had this big orgy scene.
Yeah.
It was like the violence was just in your face, graphic.
Mm.
I think if you're gonna go see it with this thought of it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Like this is really the entree. It's probably like a good date night movie.
This is
You know what I
not
mean?
like the first date movie.
No, not like the first date. I'm saying a date night.
Yeah.
Because there's lots to talk about afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That whole Chappelle Corby bit and everything. We're
Yeah.
giving you fucking gold here, people. You know what I mean?
Appear like you're worldly, you know what I mean?
And I
Feel like
believe the
Greg.
Bali Nine.
I
Rapist killing. Fuck it up.
So, just so I could fucking avert my eyes from this movie, I wrote down like a shit ton of notes on some of like the themes that I was picking up when I was going through it.
This is what I fucking come to you for, dog. Give me them fucking notes. You know, I've been waiting all year for this.
Jesus.
It feels like a year that we watched this actually.
Yeah.
It does,
It
yeah.
was warm when we watched it. Summer.
So the biggest ones for me that I'm going to pick out was just so when obviously he gets cloned and he gets killed, it's almost like a new lease on life, and with that you're able to construct a new personality. But given that as well, it almost has like that evil twin sort of attachment to it as well.
Yeah.
Like because you're now not this person, you can probably just be whatever the fuck you want to be, and you can do all the shit that you got told never to do.
Yeah.
And because of that, there was also a lot of peer pressure behind him to do all this shit as well. So that cult-like behavior was starting to get instilled with him too.
Yeah, dude was really a munch by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. And the thing they never answered was you don't know if he's the clone or not, or if he's the original.
Yeah.
That's another thing that they left hanging. And like you said with the orgy, there was a lot of hive mind style activities throughout this movie as well, when everyone gets together. And there was a lot of like, I guess, context around resurrection and rebirth, but I guess that falls into that new lease on life, new personality type thing too. But another thing that I completely forgot about, thankfully I fucking wrote it down. This was like the Purge, just maxed out to fucking 100 when it came to them actually doing their activities as well.
Because they got the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as well as that, with Mia Goth's character, how they mention at the dinner before everything goes left, how she's like, I'm a model and I fail naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like at the end of the movie, you sort of start to get that as well with him being a failed author now. He's struggling to write his book and he's just fucking up with a lot of shit when you see everything start to go down, when he's like fucking up in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even a
One
failed
hand
leader.
job.
It's all it took. Man, never seen pussy for his life. But yeah, and the biggest thing for me was that it was very jarring and the pace felt really off when they actually showed you all the grotesque imagery as well.
I think I find that with like movies with this tone is that pacing, like you're in it and it feels like it just takes years to kind of get through.
Yeah, 100%. And it was just a whole bunch of feeling uncomfortable throughout this movie. But as well as that, with the hand job as well, but just the looks that Skarsgård and Goth were giving each other, it seemed to be that adultery was the catalyst for everything as well.
Yeah. It's almost like yeah, he got the handy, but then seeing himself die was like perspective on if he had died now, how would he kind of feel? It's like he went there to get material for this new book that he's been writing for however fucking long. But he never leaves the island. That was the wildest shit.
Yeah. It's almost like Alan Wake. They fucking go on this holiday and then the wife brings the typewriter and then the shit goes down.
But I kind of feel like the island also represented purgatory.
Yeah.
Because back home, stateside or London side or wherever he's from, I think it's stateside, he's living the life of luxury on his woman's family's dime.
Yeah. But
And
everyone has a normal job stateside.
yeah,
I'm a lawyer here. I'm a that here. I'm doing this there. Like
yeah, architect, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There was it was just a lot of themes presented in this movie and then not knowing which one fit the actual tone of the film as well, which is what took me out of it too. So tonally it was a bit confusing, but I think at the end of the day, like if this is Brandon Cronenberg's usual sort of fare, then I guess it makes sense in the overarching fucking view of his films.
Yeah. Like out of the two that I've watched, Possessor and this one, I haven't watched Antiviral yet. But Possessor seemed like it had a bit more go to it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's sort of like they're on a mission sort of thing.
Bit more story.
Yeah. I think this it showed the chaos that people want in their lives when they get away. They don't want to be the same person that they were where they came from.
Yeah.
They want to be able to break all the rules, and sometimes they feel entitled to it. Like by the end, that Gabby, she just owned the fucking island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, James! Fuck, that was like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
But I do recommend people go out and see it just to see something different. I mean, fuck, it's not going to be something that you're going to watch all the time. But people went out and bought a Serbian film. You know what I mean?
Some people will watch this movie all the time.
Yeah, it's true. And it does have a lot of its fans. Its rating on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty favorable. Not that that fucking matters anyways, but whatever. But there is something in the movie. It's just not something that I'll care to watch again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but the performances were on point. I will give it up for Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Skarsgård was really, really good. He goes through a roller coaster of emotions. Mia Goth is also good. She plays this role really, really well. Almost the seductress, the sort of temptation.
without eyebrows.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. Most attractive chick I've seen without eyebrows.
Maybe that's why she's called Mia, because her eyebrows are MIA.
Oh, shots fired.
She does have brows, though. They're just blonde.
They might just be blonde. Yeah.
It's wild.
But do the curtains. All right.
What drapes?
All right. Do you guys have anything else to add to Infinity Pool?
Nah.
Also, shout out to Thomas Kretschmann.
Yeah.
That got fucking old out of nowhere.
What happened to that?
No. Went from like Age of Ultron to this.
Yeah,
Ew. Drugs and community dick just got to the fan.
Success has not treated you well, old friend.
Crutchman from now on.
Jeez. But it's always good to see him in like other stuff. He added that weight, but also he knew that they were just fucking around, which killed me. The way that he walks in, he's just like, yeah, just sign the forms. It's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, you get out of there.
He's so underused.
He really is. He really, really is. All right. That is a wrap on all the reviews that we have for you this week. We will be back on Sunday. Sundays for the news, Thursdays for the reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on all social media.
Flying and mobile infantry does the die.
Guns for show, knives for pro. Guess what those movies is? Guess what them lines is from the movies. But yeah, follow us on all social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. It helps us getting into spaces where we can sort of run it back to you. Yeah, love yourself, love movies.
Vape more, smoke less, and wash your ass.